Alright, let's play. Hello again. Um, I've not been having fun in Minecraft recently, so let's just play. I'm probably gonna talk about things that interest me. Um, what's something that interests me? Uh, I guess analog horror is pretty interesting, or horror in general. I like learning about cults. Mass hysteria is also pretty interesting. If you look at the dancing plague from 1518, that's okay. That's pretty interesting. Bunch of people just started dancing. It was it was super interesting to hear about that, especially since I watched it from a channel called Wendigoon. It's a really fun channel. Um, ooh, wait, they have roses. They do have roses now. Yes, it's perfect. But no, I heard about that, and it was really interesting to learn because it was one of the first times that I actually like looked it up to learn a bit more. Thank you for your input. One of the first times I actually listened in and like actually tried to learn more. I've always been into history. Uh, Civil Wars have interested me actually. It's the idea that like something that's supposed to be one is now completely separated. We can look at all across the world when the Roman Empire fell. I'm not sure they actually had a civil war. They were just taken over, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. I mean, it's still pretty interesting though. The idea that something can just like something so big can just like disappear. I mean, it hasn't disappeared, of course, but I mean, comparatively, what once was is no longer, I guess. I find that interesting because if you look at, or watching this, I was very much into animation stuff about 2 years ago. I still am a little bit, not as much though. But I remember watching a lot of videos related to characters from like a thing I watched. One of them turned into almost a dictator. So a lot of people would move relations from him to Ozymandias. If you don't know who Ozymandias is, it's he's basically a guy that ruled with an iron fist. Uh, I don't think it says how he fell, but the only thing remaining of him when the last traveler found him was just a statue that read out the last thing that he would be remembered by was basically he held with an iron will. He did not hold. It didn't show a ruler of love. It showed a ruler of fear, which I find that really interesting. That it's just when the statue's found, it's in an empty desert. This is the only thing that's left. I find that amazing because I mean this is probably not the like normal thing you get from it, but if you make a mistake, it it won't be remembered forever. As big as it is in your life, it won't be remembered forever. It'll be remembered by those who know you, of course, but in the end, everything is forgotten. And I mean that personally, fills me with a lot of joy, because why not? Why not try this thing? If I mess up, it's what's the point? If I mess up, it's fine. If I don't succeed, that's fine too. Oh, cool. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, that's a nice one. Uh, going back to like analog horror and stuff like that. Uh, one of my favorites has been Mandela Catalog. Specifically, well, not really specifically, but my favorite part about it is I'm very much, or at least I was into like game theory, stuff like that. I've never really been much of a theorist, but I've always really enjoyed watching those videos. So like, I remember I would turn on 12-hour long videos. If I could find an interview with the creator, I would watch it in entirety, and I would do that for days, just because it was interesting to me. I guess that goes back to why I'm making this, because Minecraft's no longer interesting anymore. I mean, it's not boring sometimes, but it did get stale. It got stale a long time ago. And I I kind of just left it. I'm gonna be honest. All this new stuff, it's great and all, but I guess it's just not what I remember Minecraft being. Minecraft to me will always be you start a world and it's not going to be there the next time you open the game. That's how I remember it, at least, is you open up a world and it's not going to save. I remember being in like a daycare, and I was I would never do my homework unless like given some sort of thing or prize, like, ooh, if you do your homework you'd get this. So that's basically what I do. They'd be like, hey, if you finish your homework, I'll let you play Minecraft on my phone. And of course, this was during the big Minecraft hype where, trying to, I guess Stampy. Yeah, Stampy, DanTDM. Oh, that's not, forgot how bad these cave sounds used to be. Ooh, zombie. Uh, but yeah, it was during that time, so every single kid in there, we got, I think, 30 minutes, and it was fun. I believe about midway through my time there, we got a little bit more time, or actually Minecraft updated, I believe. So we were actually able to save worlds. You were allowed 3 saves. Okay. Okay, that's my footsteps. All right. Uh, but yeah, you were allowed 3 saves. So, which is really interesting to me because we had other games in that daycare, of course, that wasn't the only thing that you could play. But it was interesting because everyone worked together for some reason. A bunch of little kids who had no idea of why they might care if they destroyed somebody else's world. They never did. I remember after each person, the next person would come up and play, and you would just add on to the building. I remember specifically it was, I think, an art gallery esque. build fully out of brick. You know, those, it's like a brick factory. And what ended up doing is every single person would add, and if you didn't want to add, you just fly around. And at the time, just flying around was enough. Flying around was more fun sometimes, even. Especially since, of course, we couldn't get games like GTA at the time, which I'm pretty sure it had either just come out or it was starting or it was about to come out at the time. So it was definitely a thing where it was our first a bunch of our first experiences with a game like it. A bunch of us had never even thought of the idea of, oh, I can do anything in this. Nothing's stopping me. And I mean, I do enjoy it still. I do. But I feel like what's going on with me currently is that I'm at a point in my life where my life has grown more and more complex. Of course it will, you know. As you get older, your life will grow more complex. My life is much more complex than it was when I was 8. But that's fine. That doesn't mean it's worse. I feel like Jacksepticeye said this the best. You don't you don't miss you don't actually miss the older YouTube videos that you used to watch. You miss the way they made you feel. When you could go home and you had nothing to do other than sit on your phone, actually, for most people, it was just sit on your iPad, watch TV, something. Because really, there was nothing else to do. Oh, so, I mean, I feel like that works the best as an explanation. You don't miss the game itself, you miss how it made you feel. And I love that because it's truth. That's why this is why this video is being made, actually, is because I wanted to see. I wanted to get into that mindset of I just got home and I'm playing it again. I got very into tryharding games for a long time. And while, yes, it's incredibly fun for me to do that, I'm very much a FPS player. So, that's just kind of what I do. I'll play games, I'll try to get good at them, and then, you know, I'll just stop eventually. After 500 hours, it's as if I never played in the first place. I have no want to continue because, of course, the entire point at the beginning was just to do one thing after the other. So, in the end, I just end up quitting. But and I'll try to come back, of course, because, you know, you play this game for so long and you gain this want to play it. But you know, you don't have that want as much as, I mean, at least I don't have that want as I once did. That want to play this game, to play a game. The want to experience something new in a game. You know, with Minecraft it used to be, oh, I'll load up, I'll build a house, you know, and then I'd stop. I'd just stop and I'd go into a new one and do the same exact thing over and over again, and it never felt stale because it was always something new. It wasn't ever, oh, I have to do this now. It was always, oh, why not? Why don't I go do this? You know, it sounds fun. There we go. So what ended up happening is for days and days, I would play, and then, of course, those days turned into years, as they do. And after a long time, I I lost that sense of wonder about this game. I sped up. Had to learn how to be good at everything. If I wasn't great at something, it would piss me off. You know, if you can't do this, you're never going to be good at this game. And that's kind of how I ended up playing for a long time. Games stopped being fun and more built towards my competitive nature. And, you know, I hated it, to be honest. It wasn't fun. I mean, you could definitely say that I enjoyed it, but in the end, if I look back, I can definitely say that I would have much rather stayed as that little kid just playing Minecraft when he got home. But yeah, I think that's the beauty of Minecraft specifically, is you don't have to cheat to get old versions. This was always right here. I could have always loaded this up. But did I? Maybe I did. And maybe I just exited it back out because I found it boring. Because I'm so used to constantly learning new things, constantly trying to be faster, that I couldn't take the time to sit down and learn how to play slower. You'll see how I'm trying to do things one click at a time, and that's completely intentional. I'm trying to play slower so that I can just enjoy it. Last time I tried playing this, I got mad because I couldn't sprint everywhere, or I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that, instead of enjoying the things I could do. When I was little, I never really played with others. Well, I played with others, of course, but I never played video games with people. Mostly because I didn't have local multiplayer friends. Parents didn't want to let their kids out. Uh, so it turned into nobody really played with each other uh, outside of school. And if they did, they just lived right next door to each other. There we go. So what ended up happening is I learned how to enjoy the game by myself. I learned that taking your time with things is more fun. And I guess you could say this is all just for a sense of grasping at straws to kind of try to get back to that. But what I kind of want is to show that you don't have to play fast. Or to have more fun, you don't have to play faster. You try playing a little slower, because you might just enjoy it. Thank you.